Davison.
All right, perfect. So, all right. Quick rundown of the last session, so we all know where we are when we start. And so, last time we started out around a fire. The five of you having been on the road for some time, now closer than ever to your destination. One last talk before the final night of rest led to some details being revealed. Learned a couple of things about a few of the factions waiting for you in Almus, such as the motivations and where you might find some of them. You learned that your guide, Bryn, had actually never set foot in Almus, at least not after the event, and has essentially led many people on this route that you now travel, having never had a single one return. Beyond that, not much else, and so you all rested for the evening. Unfortunately stirred awake earlier than anticipated, as one of you was having a bad dream or potentially prophetic visions, a warning to stay away. Putting that aside, you provisioned and then got on your way, Bryn leading you to an extremely tall aqueduct, leading into the side of a mountain. After some time traveling with you, Bryn had announced that this was as far as he'd go. This strange effect rising from the ground and water up into the stone of the mountain above, like oil floating atop water's surface. A few of you would have heard Bryn speaking to himself, saying it's gotten closer, but kind of like an off comment, mostly speaking to himself. But nobody seemed to question it. Putting aside his fear, Harold, actually, was the first to step forward. Passing through, and all seemed well. The rest of you followed and made your way, guideless for the first time. As you traveled the aqueduct system further into the mountain, you far ahead, a beast with horns and a flaming weapon would have crossed your path, almost like a deer, like when it stops and completely still and just turns and looks, just like that, right? Stopped, unmoving, staring down the tunnel into your direction, waiting for you to react. But when nobody decided to do anything, it just continued on its path. As you all caught up, there was 3 paths presented to you. The path the creature had come from, the path that it went, and then the continued path you were already on. Deciding not to stray, you pressed further, the sound of falling water rising in volume as you drew closer, finally opening up to what appeared to be some sort of a sewer system. As you slowly traveled along, heading forward, you ran into a gelatinous cube. After a hard fight, in which one of your own was engulfed by the creature, you finally brought an end to it. After a few breaths, you regathered yourself, refocused, and intent on continuing the path forward. And that is where we pick up. So, let me go ahead and switch our map over.
Did we ever do the short rests on our characters?
There's short rest, and this is not the same. So, we can jump into it. Yeah, so. I've brought back the party essentially, as one, as it was. Okay. Yeah, the creatures. Actually, I'll leave it there.
Are we still like in the same formation after this fight?
Yeah, so essentially, we are picking up right after that fight. So like only a few moments passed, and you are back settled. So the way, what are you trying to, like, what kind of short rest are you taking? Like, what is the intended goal of a short rest here? Because the Pathfinder doesn't necessarily have like the same type of rest mechanics that you would get out of like
I would assume like an HP rest, focus rest for Obak.
Yeah. Does anybody have the treat wounds ability? Or
is
confident in their treat wounds?
Is anybody trained in medicine? And
Yes.
healer's tool?
Yeah, I'm trained in medicine, but I don't think I have healer tools. I'm actually very, very trained in medicine.
Okay.
So
spit on his wound and
medicine, but I don't have the kit.
Without the kit.
I also have natural medicine, Trill. So it's possible could I use my surroundings for anything if I don't have the kit?
So if you don't have a kit, You have
I look at
natural.
I'll look at Obak real quick, and I'll say, "You, you're
What?
about as big as me. Got pretty roughed up there in the blob.
It
How
was
you doing?"
definitely one of the more harrowing experiences I've had in my adventuring career. It stings in there. Look at my flesh, and I'll kind of like show off. I'm assuming with the acid damage that I took, patches that are just like, burnt off and sizzling, and
Yeah.
not looking too hot.
Your
I'll-
flesh is as strong as the spells I used to keep it alive. Both of you are jobbers, running in headfirst to anything.
I'll look at Obak and kind of smirk, and
Yeah.
Trill,
At least I didn't.
just as
Sorry.
a minor explanation for what I'm about to do.
Mhm.
You know, when I look at Obak, I realize that the situation I'm currently in.
Mhm.
So selfishly, I understand that I need this guy up in order for me to survive. And
Sure.
with that, I'll grab my healer's tools and I'll toss them over to Turtle Run. Say, hey, fix him up.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
So you have
Uh,
healer tools then, Pete.
Yeah, so I will
Or
minus those from my inventory
Watson. Okay.
and throw you a kit, a small satchel.
Can I add that to my items, Trill?
yeah,
Can
I
we
was
go to
about
that
to do it.
extent?
With
Okay,
your
Yeah,
dope,
yeah.
equipment.
dope.
Yeah.
So
There
it's
you
got
go.
bandages, herbs, suturing tools,
There you go.
first aid, treat disease, treat poison, and treat wounds.
All
Okay.
right. So, so yeah, the way this would work. Okay. Using your
I would
natural
still like to
medicine.
use nature. Yeah, yep.
Yeah. If you're in the wilderness, you might have easier access to fresh, allowing you to gain. You can apply natural cures to heal your allies. You can use nature instead of medicine to treat wounds. If you're in the wilderness, you might have easier access to fresh ingredients. I'll say that you're not in the wilderness, so you won't get the
No.
+2 circumstance bonus. But yeah. So the action that you want to take here, and I can throw it onto your character is. Let's see.
I also have 2 healing potions if anybody like is seriously, damaged after that or whatever. That's
I think the only one who took significant damage was Obak.
okay. Okay, yeah, I have healer tools now.
Yeah, for some reason the treat wounds is not jumping onto your actions. Oh, but I'm an idiot. Yeah, I've added it like 10 times. It's under exploration. So, what you want to do is when you go to your page or your token, yeah, actually, yeah, if you click your token here and then you check, like you hover over actions, you should see treat wounds on the bottom line. So the way you want to do this is target Obak,
Yep.
and then hit treat wound. Yeah. So
Whoa.
So you want to at the bottom where it says the result of your medicine check determines how many hit points the target gains. There's like another script macro. Yeah, if you click that, click that, just change it to nature instead of medicine, obviously. And
Oh
then,
yeah, I see.
yeah.
It automatically popped up. I don't have to.
Okay, well there you go then. Perfect.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, just make sure it has nature, or else you're
Yep.
gonna get that.
And
medicine.
then a normal roll. Oh, this is gonna be money.
Is that consumable, Trill, or that lasts indefinitely?
The healer's tools.
The tools, yeah.
I believe that they last unless
Okay.
there's like a reason. So,
Yeah.
So yeah, Obak,
It's all right.
regain 9 points. This takes 10 minutes, by the way.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
As Obak is sitting there getting treated by Turtle Run, he'll turn and say, "Foolhardy as I may be, charging in head first, let me ask you, is it worse than scurrying away as a literal rat?"
I mean, I scurried
True.
away from my protection. I came back too in the back line to help you. You big goof.
I do appreciate you patching
You're
me
like
up as well.
6'5", man. I don't know how this aqueduct doesn't even fit you. Like, it's incredible.
The worms were
Reach up.
impressive.
Reach up right now and touch the ceiling. Go ahead. I want to see. Go ahead. Go ahead.
The dwarf will kind of just squint his eyes and glare a little bit at Turtle Run.
Fair
The
enough.
the worms were impressive. I'm gonna point over at the goop and say, hey, do you think there's anything left in there? Trill, I realize this thing is acidic goop, a little toxic, but I would imagine it's kind of starting to disintegrate and lose its form. Could we search this thing for any kind of loot?
Sure. Give me give me a perception check. It seemed quite clear, but
Yeah,
maybe
I know
as
there's like
yeah.
maybe skeleton particles and shit in there.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to say, unfortunately, nothing. So, yeah, as you kind of go to check, yeah, all that you can see left behind is like, natural, like bones of some sort, maybe like a femur or something left behind, but that's it. So, all right. Is that all as far as stuff to do in the meantime? So 10 minutes passes. You sit here mostly in quiet, all of you as a group. So bring everybody back. 10-minute passes. You spend some time giving Turtle Run the opportunity to go ahead and patch up some of Obok's wounds a little bit. Maybe like a cream over the skin that kind of stops the burning sensation, right? So after that, you're readied up, taking a breather, and we'll assume. Which way do you want to go?
There's a
You have-
doorway over here,
Yeah.
boys. You
Check
want
it
to take
out.
a look?
May
So
as well.
There was something specific about the area that Harold would have found out last time, but I don't know if he shares it in this moment.
I did tell them at the end of last session.
Fair enough.
That it's
Um,
getting thicker as we
Yep.
progress. Yeah, he told us.
Okay, all right, just making sure. So, so you come down here. You see that there's another path that continues across the way, but deciding otherwise, you cross over the rickety bridge. Kind of take a stand here for a moment. Once you get to this point, looking around, over here, this looks like, I mean, some of these boxes and some of these barrels are broken down and messed with, but for the most part, the vast majority of the stuff seems slightly intact. You assume it's probably like a smuggler's cache or some sort, right? Like, just kind of like where they keep
The
some items.
weapons, that axe and that like sword on there, am I able to see if they're like rusted? If because you could tell like how long, if weapons have been there for a while, right?
This looks like I'll say it definitely looks like a forgotten cache, right? Like this might still have some valuables in it. It's hard to tell exactly, but it looks like it's been out here a long time, and the water of the area is certainly kind of rusted out these weapons for sure.
But
Right.
I roll perception to see if like any of that shit is trapped up.
You're gonna
Check for
okay.
check for gold and potions.
Yeah,
but
check for
before
traps?
doing that, yeah, check for traps.
Yeah, fair enough. So I'll say that you have to approach. So we might have to do something like this, and then just for the time being, Gregor, you get basically up here, or rather like right here, to check it out while everybody else kind of waits.
Wow.
Okay.
Gregor, you'd say you could smell a trap from a mile away.
I'd say so.
Yeah.
All right. So what is that? 17 total. You look around. As you approach down here, I need. Let's see.
Here it is, bud.
Yeah. I need everybody to make a
There it is.
will save.
Where is that?
If you check your sheet, it should be to the left, and you see like saves, fort, reflex, will.
Oh,
It'll be one of those.
Sure.
here we go.
Oh no.
Oh, this is gonna be huge for me. I just know it. Yep, I knew it.
Yeah, solid. All right. So,
Sure.
Did I roll?
you have not yet.
Oh no, you didn't.
You
Oh
just did.
no.
All right. So as you get to this point, as you kind of cross over, walking up closer to get a better look at everything happening here in this moment, right? Trying to gauge if there's any type of traps, anything along those lines. In this moment, let's go ahead and this will apply to all of you. This is 9. So those with a 19 or higher are going to take, let's see, half damage. So let me go.
19 or higher.
Yeah. So turtle run, you take half damage. Sorry. Whoops. I will heal that. My bad.
Oh my god.
So turtle run, you take half.
Obok takes half.
Yeah, Obok takes half.
Are you applying damage, Trill,
Yeah,
or
I
should
am.
we be okay?
Yeah, I'm doing
This
it.
is
And
great.
then
This is amazing.
so I don't know why it keeps summing up as Thorn, dude.
What's damaging us?
I'm gonna tell you after I apply the damage.
Sure. Why
So
not?
Harold, Mastodon,
Something to do with the smoke getting thicker, for sure. I think.
The goo hurts.
yeah. So all right. So Thorn, fuck, I need to change that thing. I don't know why it keeps coming back up as that. Yeah. Stop. Yeah. And then there we go. Oh, actually, Thorn needs to take another half. There we go. All right. So, and absolutely, the way it works out, as you cross this bridge, actually, it's kind of like more so when it happens, but Gregor, you kind of quickly move over to inspect these, this area for traps and see if there's something going on in this location.
Right.
And as you do so, all of you, actually, we also need Shani to make that will save. My mistake.
Channy, make the wheel save, buddy.
Oh, sorry. I didn't
Yeah.
even.
No, I just remembered now.
Yeah, my bad. I'll keep that in mind. This one
Channy
will not
attempts
be
to
as
lick
good.
his paws. Oh my god.
So Shani takes 9 damage as well. All right. Yeah. That's the way it works. As soon as you cross over, but then you essentially cross over, but then just as you get across, Gregor, you kind of take the lead from the group and kind of approach, looking to inspect. As the 6 of you make it across this bridge, you actually notice that the interior of this location starts to kind of fill up with this hazy fog that kind of starts to move around and kind of obscure your vision. Not too much, but enough to kind of add like this foreboding kind of effect to you. The damage here is all 6 of you essentially hear what sounds like a dozen voices at once, kind of each attacking your mental for a moment, right? Like all these whispered sounds kind of layered over each other, a ton of like whispering, kind of haunting threats and messages, like get out, right? Like, you know, you're not supposed to be here, all of these things. And so as it kind of triggers off this, it takes, for those of you who passed, you are able to hold off this like bombardment of almost like psychic or some sort of energy that kind of like, you know, gets at you. But for the rest of you, it, you know, it really goes through and like really hurts, like as you're trying to just kind of like fight it off. And for those of you who failed as well, sorry, you are frightened. But I'm not gonna apply it, because it's essentially like a single round thing. It would be something if we were like rolling into initiative, but so I'm not gonna apply it to each character sheet. But I would say that if you failed, essentially act like you're scared for the time being.
Everybody, we need to get the fuck out of here and get to where we gotta go, get to the city as fast as possible. We gotta hustle up. And Trill, I don't know if this can be utilized, but you can see,
Sure.
pick up the pace.
Yeah, fair enough.
I look at everybody, including the dog, and I go, let's go, let's pick up the pace.
Yeah. Let's get the
The
fuck
dog's
out of here.
gonna look at Watson, like tilt his head to the side and run to me right away.
Yes,
Pick up the
fair enough.
pace.
But I will say, Gregor, as you take a look at these, you don't get the sense that they're trapped at all.
Okay. We have time to just check through these boxes. You know, there could be something useful here. We're all.
We don't have time. We don't have. Hey, we don't have time. We gotta pick up the pace.
Okay. You're right.
So this way,
So,
the fog
yeah, I was gonna
gets
say we're picking
thicker.
up the pace in which direction?
We
Best
gotta
way.
go lateral. I mean, we go east, and we're fucking choking on this shit. So we
would you
almost gotta go.
Would you
I
say?
don't know.
So because over half of you are scared as you do this, and because Mastodon specifically is kind of scared.
I'm
in this
getting
moment, right?
I'm getting anxious. Yeah.
He's nervous.
Would you say it would be fair to roll like a d4 and like north, south, east, west, and then almost like at random, like, oh, like you're spooked and you're just like, hey, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, but I don't think we're spooked to the point where we're not looking at where we're going. Right? Like we're aware that this is affecting us, but I
We know
think we're
that the
still like
fog-
sane. We know where we're going, right?
We
It
know
shouldn't
that
be
the
like a random
fog is
roll.
getting thicker. So in my general sense, I know we gotta go north or south. I know that traversing eastward seems dangerous, even
Okay.
though I'm frightened.
Fair enough. All right, so do you think it'd be fair?
You always used to say the only way out is through.
Yeah.
I think maybe a 1d2 to go north or south might be fair
I'm down
in this
with that.
situation.
Yeah.
Let's do 1d4, and 1 and 2 is north, 3 and 4 is south, right? All right. We're gonna go with because they're both the opposite. We'll go with the first one. All right. So, you pick up the pace and you start moving quickly, right? You're like, fuck it, let's not waste any time looking around. Let's just get the fuck out of here, right? So you move up here, and you get to this point ahead of you. All of you notice. You see this door that is closed currently. You see along this path that you have to walk, essentially as a like one at a time in a line. That thickness has definitely kind of accumulated on the bottom. You look across where you fought the last gelatinous cube, and it's, you know, very much present, but it's more so present even here. And that thickness of the fog kind of gives a bit of a confined feeling. But you have two options here. Well, you have three technically. You could just continue going straight north. You can go to the right, or you can check out this door.
Let's check out the door now.
I'd like to check the door.
Check the door. Okay. Because there's not much space, we're gonna have to do it. I'll say that Harold, you step up, as well as Gregor. We'll switch up some placements real quick. Something like this.
Nice and easy, does it?
Yeah. All right. So, you open the door.
Yeah.
There you go.
Can't really see much.
Step in closer.
Yeah. Wait, what's happening here? There is something happening here, strangely. That help? Oh, it's because this thing. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
Okay. So, you step in. I'll say you stay here. And
Oh yeah, I
so
can see now. That's weird.
yeah, you can see now. Because of the light source. So you look ahead, and you see what apparently seems to be like an empty room. I need you to make me a perception check. You and Gregor, since you're up front.
These mechanics are interesting. On my screen, I actually can't see anything.
Isn't that how it's always
Yeah.
been though?
If it was set up like this, yeah, it should have been. But I guess it's a little bit better.
Oh my god, big
Not that
20s.
one. Oh, yeah.
Holy shit. Okay.
Dude, I might-
Big nasty one.
So, Gregor, you see what looks to be an empty room, but Harold,
Fucking bifocals. The big
Yeah.
bifocals.
I need to change this really quick. I don't know why it keeps doing this.
You can see demons.
Send me straight back to the nightmare.
There you go. All right. So, Harold, you look ahead, and what Gregor isn't seeing, you are seeing. You are seeing a man. I'm going to say just literally by the grace of the fact that maybe you're the one that's casting light, right? So you're the one that kind of has the shine coming off you. What Gregor doesn't see that you see as you look forward, just the most minute kind of reflection of light off of something that's in this room, and you realize that this room is filled with another gelatinous cube. If you had walked in, you would have walked right into this creature. But as you notice it, it doesn't really seem to. Nothing seems to change. It's almost like it's either unaware of your presence or it's kind of here as a trap if you were to like
So
walk
is
on
the
in.
cube the size of the room?
Yeah, it's the size of the room, and the wall is like literally right here of the cube.
Right. Yeah.
Essentially just waiting for somebody to unfortunately like walk in, right?
And there's a man inside the cube.
No, it is completely clear. There's not a single item left in this one. So that's why it was tough to see. That's why even now, as you kind of pointed out, Gregor, you really can't see it, but Harold, you 100% see that there's something right here. It is extremely clear, but you see just enough of the light bouncing back.
Blumin' it's a giant cube.
Oh, shit. Close the door.
The
Close
fuck
the
out
door.
of here.
Yeah. You
We're
shut
not
the door?
going in
Yeah, I'm gonna slam the door. And...
Yeah, I really don't want to deal with another gelatinous slime right now. I'm
Okay.
gonna be honest with you.
All right. So you shut the
slam
door. That's fine.
Let's go this way.
Bro, what is going on with your... No, okay, we're good.
So close the door and decide not to head down that opposite path. You continue heading north, correct?
Yeah.
All right. So make your way up. Okay. So as the group gets to, give me marching orders. Sorry,
I'm in the back.
you're in the back. All right.
I'll go in front of Gregor.
Renegade, okay.
I'll go directly behind Obak. Obak and I up front. Head
Trill,
strong.
I have a thing. I don't
up?
think the dog should have a marching order. I think the dog should be with me. I
Alright.
think the dog should have a marching order when he hits level 5. Is that fair?
I don't think so. But
Okay. All right.
So so this
Let's
works.
check.
Obak leading. Yeah, here's a moment. So here goes another one. As you are leading the way forward, continue to press on. Actually, Obak, I need you to give me a perception check here specifically.
Oh fuck, another cube, eh? Nice.
Big
Nice.
boys. Big
Okay.
boys only.
So
This is the cube.
all right, perfect. So the way this works, because your check here is so well, I'm gonna say I give you a split moment as you step on this panel in the floor, and it sinks underneath your feet as you put your weight down, continuing to move forward. I'm gonna say you're gonna give a plus, since you got the spot, I'm gonna say it gives a +2 circumstantial bonus to both Gregor and Turtle Run to make their reflex saving throw as they are in the back. Or rather, yeah, reflex saves here. You're
Yeah.
Hey,
looking-
heads up.
Yeah.
There you go. There's my heads up.
All right.
Hey,
Whoa, nice.
Okay. Perfect.
look
So,
at old Buck. I say, hey, nice
Alright.
call there, man.
yeah. So, as you cross, and I'm gonna say that you recognize what's about to happen. Obak, you recognize enough to essentially like rush forward to give the space for the others to continue to make their way up ahead. But as you pass this point, just because of two great rolls here, actually, and let's see. Okay. Yeah. As this happens, from behind, a massive, almost like a, it's almost like a door, but it's really like a gate, essentially, falls from the roof and slams shut into the ground and down into the water. Spikes, almost like a gate where water can continue to pass through. Two heavy stones portions come down from the ceiling, slamming into the walkways, and then the spikes continue down into the water, slamming through. They would have pierced had somebody been swimming by this area, but you just narrowly jump out of harm's way as you all rush forward quickly. But the path behind you is now closed to you unless you attempt something special. But
Nah, we'll be all right.
yeah, you want to mess with that door at all, or are you just like fuck it? Let's just
I
continue
can
forward?
I'm looking at everyone. I have the option to like go right through it. If you guys want me to go forward and like see what's even there.
We
I
have
have the-
another path. Let's get the fuck out of here.
All right,
Let's just keep going.
keep going.
Okay.
Fair enough. All right.
Obak will. Oh.
Oh, go ahead.
Sad.
What'd you want?
We'll kind of point over to the right and say, "Hey, I think I see something over there."
Fair enough.
My dark vision
All
allowed
right.
me to see it. I assume that's legal.
Indeed,
What
The
indeed.
way.
It's
Yeah.
illegal.
What is you lead the way then.
Lead the way.
Obak will lead them over towards the ladder that he saw in the distance.
All right, there you go. Yeah, continue to travel along this way.
And don't remember, hustle up!
Yeah, listen up. You're rushing fast. So you get to this point. What you can see from here is you can see where the water starts to spill out. This kind of goes up another additional 10-15 feet in the air, where water is kind of spilling out. You could potentially climb it and continue on down that path, but there is essentially a ladder at this point, leading up. Obak, since you have dark vision, actually, what is the distance of your dark vision? 1 second. I think it's just your normal
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
think it's anything crazy.
side. So okay. Yeah, I'm gonna say that you can see up, but you don't see the ceiling. You don't see like where this ends up, right? Like you can see the stairs and you see them basically disappear beyond your vision and dark vision into the darkness. So whatever they are, this is a very, very tall a very tall ladder that's kind of attached to the side of the wall.
It's a long ways up. What do we think?
I don't see any other way.
You said we could potentially climb up that waterfall.
Yeah, along the sides here, there's not like an official like ladder or anything, but you can see grooves where people have essentially chipped away at the wall itself, giving like hand and foot grooves to kind of quickly scale up and continue on down or wherever this water comes from. And with that, I'm going to say that you can hear this, but you can also hear there's another one in the distance that you can, assumingly, potentially like do the same with.
So that possibly could be like a manhole, and then there's a whole other like hallway going down north.
Yeah, two side by side, one here and one off further in the dark, but you can hear the water coming from it.
Do we want to stay down in these sewers any longer? Hopefully this ladder can lead us to the surface.
Well, I'm
We've gone
assuming that
through.
those lead out of the sewer as well, but we could take the ladder. I mean, it's definitely easier, but
Does the ladder appear relatively sturdy, Trill? Like, does it look rotten and fucked up?
It's pretty dark. You have some light. I was gonna say like, roll me like a straight d20, and you're hoping for high on this, so anything above a 10. Yeah, you kind of go up and you grab a hold of it, right? Like you put a foot down. You kind of like maybe you go up like 1 or 2 rungs just to see, like, you know, if it's got any give. It feels relatively safe, but can't be too sure. This is obviously it appears to be a long kind of ladder leading up into the darkness. So at some point along that climb, maybe something is different.
the way I see it is, it's really a gamble which one we take, because going up those waterfalls could put us in a better spot to start out at, but you know, so could the ladder. But I'm assuming that the ladder is like, you know, mainly used, whereas, you know, going up the waterfall might give us a stealth advantage.
True. The ladder is a bit obvious.
And if you guys aren't comfortable with climbing, I do have a grappling arrow. I don't know if it'd be useful here.
Can I can I use my wild shape drill and like some like move up that ladder with like a pest form or something like
The
that?
pest farm. Is there any?
Yeah, and see what's there.
What's the flying pest form? Let's see.
So there's a
Oh,
couple.
actually, you can't, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has to be heightened at a 4th level. That's when you can get
Yeah.
like a bird and stuff. So at this point, yeah, it's only like
could,
rats, lizards, you know.
I have
Yeah.
high stealth. I could sneakily climb up there and see, you know, what might be waiting for us on the other side.
You still have to make us. Yeah.
That's,
Can he?
that's what I do.
Yeah, you can scout ahead if you'd like them. If you'd like for that to happen. Or, you know, commit to all of you making your way up, or
If
We've
Gregor
been.
moves to scout ahead, I'll move with him.
yeah, number of choices here, right? So you can head up this ladder for a bit, see, potentially maybe lead all the way up and see what it has in store. Yeah. So, Greg, are you thinking of climbing this ladder?
Yeah, thinking of scouting ahead.
All right,
That's what I do.
that's what you do. Okay.
What kind of check do you need? Stealth?
I need yeah, I actually need two checks here. If you're going to try to do it quietly, first I need you to make an athletics or acrobatics, depending on your choice. This is just clearly for scaling up the ladder in general, right?
Athletics or acrobatics?
Yeah. And
Fuck's
then
acrobatics.
should be at the top of your core skill.
Oh, I see.
All right, and then I need you to make me a stealth check. First check determines your DC. So it's gonna be a rough one. Okay. So, Harold, are you following along?
No,
No?
I thought he meant the other way towards the waterfalls.
Fair enough. Okay. All right. So,
Obak will kind of wait, giving Gregor a time to get ahead, but will kind of, start up the ladder, a little less confident in his stealth, not wanting to mess it up, but not wanting to let Gregor get too far ahead. Hopefully my dark sight can keep him in view so I can see if he's in trouble.
fair
Can
enough.
I send Cheney up the waterfall?
You can try to have the dog do like the you know that like dogs will like trained police dogs will like jump off the walls and climb and shit. I'll say that since Chinese like a more
I don't want him climbing or jump or anything crazy. I just want him to walk up like maybe right here.
Oh, and just like inspect the area.
Yeah.
Sure.
I
Okay.
don't want him
Yeah,
to
fair
like
enough.
jump up or anything. Just
Yeah.
just
He's got
walk up.
he's also got scent, right? So yeah, make a perception check with Johnny. So while that's happening, Obak, since you're following along, I need you to go ahead and acrobatic or athletics, whichever you choose.
Or athletics. Well, okay.
Yeah.
That's easy.
Perfect. Yep. So you start to climb, Gregor, alone at first, and then Obak, you follow up behind. Gregor, you're climbing for, let's say, climbing for like a good 5 minutes, right? And you're not climbing at a slow pace, right? You are making your way up there, no problem. But you come to a point in the ladder where you're reaching up because at some point you're basically in the dark, right? You don't have dark vision, and you don't have any form of lights. Like what little light you get comes from beneath, and at some point you climb into the darkness, so you're beyond light. But Obak is there, maybe guiding you every now and then, right? Kind of calling out whenever you get what appear to be kind of like stuck by the dark.
Right.
So with that, you get to a point where you're reaching up and you're like trying to find the next rung, and no matter what you do, you can't find it. I'll say, Obak, you kind of catch up to him, and you can see beyond Gregor that part of the ladder is essentially like missing. It looks like it's been like ripped straight out of the wall, but not much further ahead of it, you know, potentially within a grappling hook toss and throw, you could potentially catch on to the rungs and have to make this pushing up by rope.
I can do it.
If anybody can, you can, Gregor.
I can do it.
All right.
That's a long climb.
It is a
5
long climb.
minutes.
Yeah, 5 minutes, and not
And you're
climbing
doing it
at
in
a
the
slow
dark,
pace.
so
Yeah.
Albach will kind of call out. I think you can reach it if you just throw it straight up.
I think I could do it, man.
Yeah. All right. The way we'll do this is just like use like any. I don't know, man. Use your fucking. Oh, there you go. So you know how you see like on the light hammer, you can see.
Little hook thing.
Well, yeah, the little hook one. Click that one.
On the light hammer?
Yeah, on the light hammer, because it's basically like the same size, right? It's
Right,
gonna be
right.
like a similar, you know.
Just a weighted thing, yeah.
Yeah, this is just like how accurate you throw it, essentially, right?
Okay.
You got a grappling hook with the rope attached to it, so yeah, you swing it for a moment, and then kind of toss it up. Yeah, make the
Just a strike with it?
yeah, just a strike with it, because that's like to see if you hit, right? So that's how accurate it goes. And yeah, 21, plenty enough. You kind of swing for a moment, and you toss up the grappling hook, and you feel it gain purchase on the other end, right? Kind of pull down on the rope, ensuring that it's not going to go anywhere, and you hop off the ladder, up the rope, and then back onto a ladder at the top.
Hey, Obak, you're a big guy. Make sure this will hold you before you really commit to it.
Fair enough.
Sure. I'll kind of, give it a good couple test tugs
Absolutely.
before fully committing to climbing.
Okay. Yeah, you pull, and it feels relatively stable, and so you start to climb the ladder, and we'll use whatever rules you made before, so it's not a problem. While that's happening, the dog, the wolf, Johnny, you send the dog over, and it kind of stands there.
Chandy.
Yeah.
Chandy.
You got a name, okay?
Yeah, you send the wolf over, and
Shame.
it stands there for a moment and kind of like sniffs up at the air around it, and then it lets out like a not like a pained yelp, but like, you know what I mean, like a
Yep. I'm gonna go ahead and recall him.
yeah. So,
Yep.
Bring him back. Yeah.
Yep.
Oops. That's not real. Don't worry about it. All right. Perfect. So you get to a point as the two of you are climbing. Watts and Harold, roll me perception checks here. As the two of you are climbing, finally you see up ahead through the darkness, just enough light is there for you, Obak, that you can see what appears to be like some sort of a ceiling, a cap to this climb.
You said perception from me? I'm sorry.
This is Obak.
Oh.
No, the perception is from Harold and Macedon, who are
Gotcha.
kind of waiting at the bottom. So, yeah, Obak, you can see like what appears to be like some sort of cap on this thing, right? It's a kind of like a squared off point, and you can tell just well enough that it is some form of metal that kind of seals in this the shaft heading from the top down. Watson, Harold, kind of wait around. Everything seems fine. You just hear the water continuing to splash, pass through. The fog in this area seems to be a bit lighter than when it first kind of appeared as you crossed the bridge not too long ago. So yeah, for the two of you, yeah, everything feels at ease.
Now, if I wanted to lift this sewer drain up with like a smidgen just to get a peek of what's up top, do I have to reroll stealth?
So, sorry. So as you get to that point, first, before you go reaching out and everything, Obak, you can see it, and I'm going to say actually what helps here is that you can see that part of it is actually already kind of opened up a bit, and you can see the light from the top kind of just breaking through the crack, and it's kind of lighting up the area a bit better for you. So, how do you inform Gregor? Because at this point, Gregor, like you're just in pitch blackness. You don't see shit. It's only Obak that sees this, right? You think like
And Gregor's like pressed up right against this kind of cap that we've found.
no, he's like a good like 10 rungs below it, right? Like, but it's getting to the point where you have to let him know, or else he's gonna just, stove his fucking head in.
Smack his head on it.
Yeah.
I'll say, in kind of like a hushed tone, Gregor, I can see the top. It's a trap door. Maybe about 10, 12 rungs up. I'll kind of hang back here. I don't want to mess up your stealth.
Alright, I'll have a peek.
All right, so follow along. You take the next 10 rungs a bit slower, just to ensure that you don't fucking slam your head into the top of this thing. And finally, you get to the
Wow,
point. Yeah.
Lifting my hand out forward.
Yeah. Finally, you get to the point where, okay, you can feel it underneath your hand. You can feel the top, and you feel it's some sort of iron, right? It's definitely some sort of crafted metal. But yeah, if you want to try to stealthily kind of push this thing up, you're gonna have to make a stealth check here,
Okay,
like another one. Yeah,
sure.
to see.
Oops.
Oops, it's another one. Oh no.
20. Okay. So
Plus 11.
That's why
So-
I was brought here.
you finally get to the point, and you slowly start to push up, and finally, as it kind of breaks just enough to let in some light that your eyes can actually see, right? It takes a moment, but they quickly adjust, and as you look through the kind of small slit in the opening, it looks like this is some sort of room. You can see a wooden floor. You can see just because you're not trying to go too high up, right? You're trying to like keep it,
Right.
Yeah, fair enough.
I'm trying
trying
to
to-
look to clear the room to make sure there's nobody up there that'll attack us if we do in fact
Yeah.
pull ourselves up.
So the way it works though is that you're only able to clear 3 parts of the room, right?
Okay.
You can't see directly behind you because as you push this thing open, it's opening like on a hinge, right? So
Right.
the behind portion is completely dark to you. But you take a quick look around. There looks to be some sort of supplies in here, a couple of boxes. You can see you would see 3 bedrolls all kind of splayed out, and it looks like they've been used relatively recently. The floor in here isn't dusty by any means, so you kind of
Hold
just lift up. and bring it back.
It looks like a storage room. People have been sleeping in here. They got some supplies and stuff in here. I'm not sure if anybody's behind, though.
Right. Could we try and secure the room, or do we get so that the others can climb safely, or
Listen, if they
should
can't
I
climb
go get them?
if they can't climb safely up a ladder, you know,
Well.
why are they to us?
Yeah.
Fair point.
Listen, I'm gonna go up. Could I trust your sword once I do?
Absolutely. And with that, Obak will kind of, climb up a couple rungs to be closer and pull out his polearm so that, if need be, he can jab straight up the trapdoor.
I'd have my short sword in my my left hand as I'm holding on by one arm, kind of just preparing in case once I do pull up. If
Okay.
there is anything. And,
Fair enough.
I'd make I'd say I could roll like acrobats or something for this, but I'd kind of try to make a fluid, swift leap up to try to catch if anybody is there off guard.
Okay. Yeah. Fair enough. For sure.
You want me to roll acrobats?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. You try to burst through.
I'm acrobatic.
I will say that you have something in this game called a hero point. At this point, you would have one each, all of you. So you, if you would like to, if you do not like this roll, you can re-roll it, but you have to take whatever it rolls to. You don't take the higher the number, or the lower, or anything like that. You take whatever it rolls to. So if it's higher, you take higher. If it's lower, you take lower.
Let me ask you, if I use my hero point now, that's it for the rest of the campaign?
No, not for the rest of the campaign, but like probably for the rest of the season.
So a long rest.
And obviously, I'm not gonna be
Not
up here.
necessarily. No.
Not
But
necessarily. It's
an
more like a
IRL
session by
long
session
rest.
thing. Yeah, it's
Right,
more of like a
okay.
session by session thing. Yeah.
Fuck it, I'm gonna do it. Fuck
All
it,
right.
we'll do it live.
Fuck it.
Yeah. Okay.
There
Do
you
it
go.
live. Fuck
It was worth. It was worth.
Slightly better. So you attempt to, you brace yourself for the moment, right? You put your hand to the top of the iron opening, and in one quick movement, I should say, you quickly kind of put your feet underneath you, set them down in, and you essentially leap upwards, right? Pushing open and trying to get to the top and onto solid ground and not this ladder. But as you do so, it swings open wide with a loud bang. This is something that everybody is going to hear. The iron of the thing flies open and slams on the opposite side. But unfortunately, Gregor, as you go to kind of sprint up the last of the stairers, the steps to the ladder, I should say, there's already two individuals standing there with crossbows pointing right down directly at you. And so as you kind of break the top, you're still got the weapon in hand. You're still holding onto the ladder, and these two individuals are just looking at you. Both of them have like smirks on their face. One of them's face is a bit hidden. He's got like a mask that kind of comes across the mouth portion, so you only see like his eyes. But the other one is fully visible. He is very kind of gaunt in nature. Looks physically depleted, right? He's kind of leaned forward. He's wearing essentially rags for clothing. And as you kind of burst up to this point, both of them have their weapons drawn already. And the one that is fully visible is going to kind of laugh for a moment and then call out to you. And he's holding on to the crossbow like he knows what he's doing, essentially, right? Like he's got it trained on you. There's no trickery. Yeah, there's no trickery in this moment. Like he's got you dead to rights.
phone call.
Right.
And yeah, as you kind of burst through the top, this one is like he kind of like laughs and looks at the other one and then back to you. So what's this then?
This is me trying to escape a treacherous sewer.
Doesn't look very drained. He says this as he speaks to the other one and then kind of turns and looks back to you. New to the city then?
Yes, new to the city. Smuggled in by, I'm assuming, someone you're familiar with.
What's his name then?
Fuck, what was the...
It's Bryn. Yeah.
Brim.
Brim.
You familiar with him? I believe he's, at least he told us he was a part of the smugglers within the city. Here to do a job.
Yeah, they kind of look at each other like a knowing look. Last question. What's your business in Almus?
Is my answering correctly of that question contingent on you sparing my life?
Something like that.
I was tasked with recovering some goods from the city.
Right. Alright. Treasure hunters then. He'll just kind of look at the other one, and they'll both drop their crossbows. And they won't drop them, they'll just kind of like aim them down, right? Like away from you. And then the one that's been speaking will kind of step forward and put a hand out in order to help you up.
I graciously accept that hand.
Yeah. Grabs, pulls you up, you know?
Watching that, Obak will kind of just call out below, now unafraid of, noise, saying, ladder's a bit rickety, but come on up. We have a contact.
Alright, so the rest of you climb up slowly one by one until each one of you, one after the other, is brought to the surface and inside this room. So, as it is, lucky enough for you, we're now out of the Almus sewers, back into daylight. So, alright, as you get to this point, as each one of you are kind of brought up one by one, and either helped by the hands of the others in the group, or the two that were up here previously. One by one, you'll kind of break through the darkness and into the light of this room. So, as each one of you finally makes your way out, the one that's been a bit quiet this whole time will kind of, as the last one makes their way, they'll just quickly kind of put it close to the squared trap door and quickly kind of lock behind it, right? Like set in a lock at a point where, they kind of meet on the floor, ensuring that it won't open again. So, the more gaunt one that's speaking to you at this time, so then, you are the ones that have been led here, paid by, or rather, your path has been paid by Anton Cervantes, is it not?
The Iron Purse.
Yes. Right. Okay, so you are treasure seekers. Been some time since we've seen one of your type.
So we've heard. We've also heard that none come back.
Yeah, after... Yeah. He kind of thinks for a moment, he looks around like, is it? Yeah. Yeah.
Answer me this. We saw what seemed to be demonic creatures in the sewers. Are the streets rampant with them as well?
Yes. Even in the daylight, the streets are not perilous. You risk yourself anytime, even if you are in a safe house or a building. The streets are always dangerous, and even some safe houses, if they're not as protected as they should be, are absolutely dangerous.
How have you two sickly-looking individuals survived?
Forgive my frank companion, but it's a valid question. How are people surviving with creatures like that just roaming freely.
One of them will, the one that's been talking will kind of stretch a bit and find a good sitting position atop one of the say like crates. Yeah, like one of the crates. Enough that he can like lean all the way back to the wall. His legs kind of hang across the crate. We have our ways. We are familiar with the city. All of us. Me, this one, and the others that you do not know about. We're very. This is home, so we know it quite well. But
Perhaps you could provide us with some advice. Make us be the first treasure hunters, as you put it, to safely leave the city.
I don't know. It seems like anybody that comes looking for what you're looking for is going to have issues. If I'm being honest with you, all signs point that if that thing exists, it exists right where the rift is, and unfortunately for you, the rift is the most dangerous part of the city. So,
Now let me ask you this. What kind of effect would us obtaining the object have on you?
I don't care one way or the other. I don't even believe it's real, so, if it is real, that's where it's going to be, but it's not. So, you find it, all the better for you. I'm not here looking for it. None of us are, really. We just live here.
Why stay in the state that it's in?
It's difficult to leave.
It's not too difficult. I just came in.
Not difficult to get here. It's difficult to leave here. You may see in time. But it is the riches of a city that Almus offers. So, best advice is try not to stay out in the open too long. They're surely to be found and run down. Their numbers are great, and they arrive quickly. So if you ever catch yourself at a point where running is not an option, try to make any encounter quick, because the longer you are stagnant in one place, the more likely it is that you would be surrounded. You look out now, make your way out to the streets, you'll see the remains of those who have met this unfortunate end.
Do you have any suggested routes we could take to lessen the likelihood of engagement? I mean, where our path lies.
Yeah. I'm not paid for that.
You're not, but perhaps there's something we could give you in return.
Like what? I have everything I need. He kind of looks around, kind of shows off the room. Maybe. I mean, you have anything from the outside world? Something that may prove to be valuable in a place like this? It kind of looks you all over. You seem to have much about your person.
Anyone have a bottle of wine for this guy?
I have healing potions in case you run into trouble.
No.
It's
we
red.
can't give him
We
that.
need that shit.
Perhaps
will
I
search
can
his bag.
perhaps I can persuade you otherwise. And with that, Trill, would I be able to roll an athletics? And with my athletics, take my great sword and whip it like very, very hard towards his general direction, but you know, enough to not graze.
Yeah.
Did I use an athletics roll for that?
You're attempting to intimidate him with this move?
Sure.
Then I'd have to make it an intimidation check.
My pleasure. No.
Yeah, I mean, you have a hero point.
He said, use it, Pete. Do it. Do it live.
Would you say, Trill?
You have a hero point.
You have a hero point. That's not a good roll.
Fuck it. Fuck it, I'll use it.
Do it live.
If not, we'll kill them.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh
man.
my god, wow. Hey, we're taking it.
Couple fives.
Wow.
Sure.
Such fucking luck.
It's 11. It's 11.
It's 11. Yeah.
11.
Yeah, you attempt to. You pull. I'll say you make the move just fine, but this person seems completely unfazed. He just kind of shakes his head. There's nothing that you can do to scare me, considering
I'm
all
gonna
that I've
put it-
seen.
Yeah, you've seen a lot. I bet you've never seen your balls in your hands. I'm gonna put it very bluntly. These boys and I aren't gonna give you anything. You're gonna tell us how to stealthily get to that goddamn rift, being that this is your hometown. Otherwise, you and your compatriot are going to taste your own balls before you die.
Surely that would leave you wanting.
Let's see.
I'm sure you have mouths to feed. I won't stop there either. It's a promise.
Yeah, this is
Can I make a diplomacy check here if I pipe up?
absolutely you
To
could.
try and,
You
try
could.
and ease the tension. Yeah. Okay, Harold's gonna.
All the people.
At this point, Mastodon's hogged and fully ready to roll.
Yeah. Howard's gonna jump kind of between Mastodon and the guard. And he'll say, Master Watts, I'm terribly sorry. And I would look over to the guard. And he'll ask, if you could just tell us where this rift is, please.
Sure. Go ahead and make a diplomacy check here.
Yep.
Because this guy does not look happy. At all.
Oh boy.
I just threatened his kids.
Oh no.
Fucking loser.
311.
You also have a hero point. You can use it and try to get
Yeah,
something
use the
better.
hero point.
Do it
Use the
live.
hero-
Fuck.
Damn. Fuck it.
Use a roll again.
18 is much better. Yeah, much better than 11. He doesn't look happy, but as you jump in, Harold, he kind of like smirks, right? Why don't you, speaking to Watt, why don't you listen to your friend here? Relax a bit. The rift
Yes,
is easy to
Master Watt.
find. It is the easiest place in the city to find. It's right in the center of the city. When you get out this room, you'll have a view of the city, a good overview. Once you step out, you can chart your own path. But secrets in the past that we know from a life lived here, dealing with these creatures, much worse than any of you,
Why
will
gate?
remain our secret. Unless you pay.
How much do you want?
What do you have to offer?
Start rummaging through his
I have what
sleeves.
you need. I'm not particularly, especially after that last display from your pig-headed friend here. I'm not particularly encouraged to give it up now. So.
Not even for 8 copper pieces?
He doesn't even look in your direction. Surely
is
have something.
Are we in like a? Can I look around? See, are we like in a secluded like building, or like is there any other rooms any doors that lead to other rooms or anything?
There is a door that leads to outside of this room. So there's the pathway down. There's this room that you're in. One is kind of sitting on the crate. The other is kind of standing to the side. He also looks very tense, right? He's got this like kind of raggish cloak on, and he's holding himself in a way that you know that he's essentially ready immediately as something happens. But there are no windows, right? So everything is completely blocked off. You don't know what it looks like outside. According to the time and how long you spent in the sewers, you assume it's probably still daylight outside, as best as you can. And there is a door that is closed.
You mentioned prior there was like crates and stuff, supplies.
Yeah, crates and supplies.
Does it look like they have a lot of stuff?
It doesn't look like they have a ton of stuff, but they do have items, right?
I look at Mastodon. Guess we're not going to be able to talk our way out of this, huh?
I'm gonna kill both of these motherfuckers.
We need them alive to extract what they know, but then we can kill them.
You're saying this right in front of them, by the way?
Yeah, fuck it. Yeah, we are.
One of them will look at the other. Just kind of shrug. Alright, let me get this set
Let's
up.
do it!
Yeah, let's get this set up real quick.
Let's do it!
Give me just a moment.
He's my hero point.
Yeah.
Kids are gonna see your
Trill.
motherfucking heads, bud.
Trill,
So-
can I use the washroom real quick?
Can you use a what?
The washroom.
A bathroom.
We call it a bathroom.
Yeah,
here.
sure, dude. Yeah.
I feel like the way Trill just chuckled, man, I don't like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to use a
Does that every
random.
time.
I'm gonna have to use a
He
random.
does that
map
every
real quick.
time, dude.
No, this is.
0 points
Like we
can be
just
used to
engaged.
reroll.
He didn't expect us to do that.
Hero
Yeah.
points can be used to reroll anything, or they can be used to like stand you up instantly if you're down, or stabilize you. Was it?
Yeah, stabilize you
Oh,
Essentially.
really? Damn.
if you were downed.
Is there
So-
any other use?
Rerolling that. Yeah, like a heroic. It's like a heroic recovery. So that's what you're talking about. Yeah, so it's just rerolling checks and then heroic recovery. That's the
Cool.
the gist of it. So.
We're not giving these rats nothing.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. It's gonna be. The map for this might not be fitting for the encounter, unfortunately, but we'll have to make do. So
We had to do it live.
yeah, we
Yeah.
are doing live. You made a decision.
Not giving these rats nothing.
Oh, this one might be familiar
Hey,
too.
they made
One
the
of you.
decision, right? B? They made that decision, not us.
Absolutely.
We didn't choose this, they did.
Yeah, so you think, Dan?
I said, show me the way, or I'll feed your fucking balls to you.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna have to use like a tavern map just to make this work. But
All right.
okay.
Could I ask also, do we get the feeling like the old guy, that's his son with him?
Uh, no, I was
First
gonna
cousin, at least,
yeah.
dude.
No, you don't really. I'll say like, I mean, you can make a perception check to try to get an idea for who and what you're dealing with.
Oh my god.
With a natural 20. Wow. Actually, I should have made this. I should have made you roll this before we did this.
Hey, too late, no takes backsies?
Yeah, you're confident, but you also get the feeling that you're completely fucked here. So, yeah, so this is gonna be a tough one, you know.
Mhm.
Hey, hold on.
Sure.
Hold on. Hey, buddy, hold on.
Yeah, like based on their reactions, I'm gonna say that's what it is. The fact that they're like, you know, They don't
Not
really seem to
scared at all.
care. Yeah, they don't seem to be scared whatsoever. That's what's really kind of getting you like, oh fuck.
We were just kidding, you know?
Hey, man.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Yeah. So, yeah, so 1 second.
If everyone dies except me, does the campaign continue?
Yeah, dude.
Probably not. It's probably over. Yeah, it's probably over. Sorry.
Hey, your world, Tommy.
Yeah, it's probably
Oops, Tommy's world
great.
run.
Great
Oops,
introduction,
it's
bud.
became your
Yeah,
world.
Yeah. Great introduction. So,
I'm about to fucking run away in all of your asses.
No, dude, we need you.
He's about to go away and drop an album.
They're gonna have
No.
ghoulish powers now.
you're not far off.
Yeah, I figured, but
Yeah. So, all right. So as I said, this is not going to be a completely accurate map, but we're going to have to go that route.
No, we got
So-
this. We got this.
that's how the job squad does it.
Yeah. Hey, this is why I love playing with you guys, you know?
We throw you curveballs.
On your heels.
Yeah, 100% on my heels. Because I'm like, Jesus, dude, what do I do here? So, yeah. Oh boy, you know? Oh boy.
Fucking rain dance for
Thanks,
some
Master
big
Fun.
rolls. My pleasure.
Yeah. That's what it's gonna.
I gotta play my character, dude.
Yeah,
Oh,
for sure.
let me.
100%, dude. I'm not
Yeah,
letting this
I'm
little rat.
With that perception roll again, did I get the feeling like they're related, or like
There's something between them.
there's a bond? There's a bond, and the old man cares about the young one.
There seems to be some sort of bond. Incorrect. Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Okay.
But
I think we might be able to pull this off, boys.
yeah, there's some sort of bond here. But yeah. So what you'll see. Sorry. Let me go ahead and get this page pulled up. And here we go. All right. Let us activate this room. There we go.
Oh, it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it'll work for the time being.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So essentially, as it's like, okay, this is what we're doing. The smaller one that was sitting on the barrel is going to immediately kind of morph in front of your eyes and grow massive, kind of grow
Sure.
large. Horns break from the skin, wrapping around multiple sets of horns, right? The like ram horns, but also pointed up, as well as the other one is going to drop the raggedy clothes, and basically the exact creature that you saw in the sewers stands before you now, the young one, standing there to the side of you, and yeah, the horns, the red skin, all appears kind of taking over the body and pushing itself out, morphing directly in front of your eyes. And as that happens,
Corrupted humans.
Are all of you
Disgusting.
monsters like this within this city?
if you
I think it's too late to ask questions.
well, just as we roll initiative, the big one, the one that actually, to put it a little bit better, because Harold, you jumped in the way. Mastodon, you were talking to this one, and then I'll say that, yeah, like everybody else, maybe something like this, right? This is
Sure.
probably more accurate, right? Like something
Why
like that.
not?
Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, the big one is going to let out in this like deep kind of almost like a growling voice, answering your question, Gregor. If you spend enough time here. Yes. And I need everybody to roll initiative.
Disgusting.
I'm gonna do a couple practice swings, and I'm also gonna let out a growl and say, "Let's go!" with my athletics and roll initiative.
Perfect.
We're all like currently have our weapons undrawn? I guess Mastodon has his out from the tense moment, or where do we start in that regard?
I'll say you. I'll give you. I'm helping you out. I'll let you have your weapons drawn because of the tense moment.
Fuck, well, I
How
can't
many
roll.
17s did we just roll? We
A
rolled
bunch,
4
dude. A
17s.
bunch, dude.
And it's
Hey,
all
what
different
about-
pluses, so it's
Yeah.
you know. All right.
Bar
So-
I'm
Bazoo,
gonna
what a
sneakily
loser.
angle myself. I don't know if I find it kind of hard to make a stealth initiative here.
You could, yeah, I don't know, because technically this is a room, right? Like,
Yeah.
you know, being like, oh, I jump over the counter probably doesn't, you know, doesn't
Yeah.
work.
Shit. I mean, I guess I'll do that with acrobats, trying to jump over the counter.
Fair
kind of
enough.
thing.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
Just get a +9. Fuck me. Fuck me.
Okay. All right. So we begin. Yeah, as this creature morphs right in front of you. Harold, what are you doing?
Do I see him holding any weapons or anything like that?
No, but
Just his fists.
yeah, fists and his jaws.
Okay. Harold's gonna splay his hands outwards, and the rune's gonna shoot along his arms as a spray of grease jets out and covers the floor underneath this creature.
Okay.
And I get the area on it is 4 5-foot squares. So can I just use the token itself as the reference for that? Because it's 4 squares.
Yeah. I mean, actually, I can drop one, right? 4 squares, right?
Yeah.
So you're doing it like this, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, let's see. If you cast a spell on anyone trying to pick up, so the area. Each creature standing must succeed or fall prone. Okay, so he has to make the check right now. He succeeds. So he doesn't fall prone. Yeah, okay.
Okay, and I'd like to load my sling and fire a shot off at him.
Okay. So conjure the grease underneath his feet, hoping to trip him up. Right?
Yeah. I have the sling held in my hand. Oh, here we go.
Yeah. You didn't? Did you target?
Yeah.
Typically, it says if it succeeds, it does not succeed. Actually, I'll say you sling and you throw whatever stone is inside, and it hits into this creature's chest and just falls to the ground.
Okay.
Yeah. So, that's all 3 turns. All right.
Barbazu, demonic ass.
So
You're
this
a
one,
Barbazu enjoyer.
this one's gonna call out to the big one, and ask a question, basically like a clarifying question. Essentially, actually, yeah, it calls out. You understand language; it's still in the same common language that you have, but it's going to call out and ask the big one, kill or maim. Big one will say maim for now. So, this one will step forward, targeting Obak directly. Actually, sorry. He's got reach on this, so he's going to step here and then target. take a wide swing. So 1 action to move, 2nd action to attack, and then 1 second. Okay. Yeah, it's going to strike out at Obak. That is a 28 hits.
Plus 17.
Um,
Woo!
God damn.
So,
Jesus Christ.
You take 22 points.
Are you fucking kidding me, dude?
Jesus
Super
Christ.
fun.
You are bleeding. And let's see. I checked something. So this is specifically this is a special type of wound. So you are bleeding, but in a way that is magical. It is forcing the wound to continue to bleed, like overly bleed, essentially. And yeah, he's gonna take a free action since he hit you to reposition. Hits creature with a glaive strike. Creature moves the creature 5 feet in any direction. So the destination must be within reach of the devil's glaive. So he's going to essentially hook you and just pull you over. We'll say here to the side. And then that's a free action. And its final. I think that's all it's gonna do, right? It just smacks you and just pushes you out of the way like nothing. That'll be its turn. The big one has eyes for a single person.
Come get it.
Yeah.
Come get
forward.
it.
It's gonna move. Purposely not getting in your way, like almost not necessarily shoving you aside, but absolutely attacking around you, Harold. Right? Yeah, he's going to attack around. Yeah, he's just gonna move forward. He's gonna take 1 strike with his claws at first. I believe it's this. Yeah. I'll take a claw strike. It's gonna hit.
Sure. Plus 16, why not?
19
Sure,
points
bud.
of damage. And he has a move called Vicious Wounds. So on a successful jaws or claw strike, this demon will viciously tear into its own skin as similar wounds appear on its body. Essentially, as it attacks you, as it strikes you, it's going to essentially strike itself. You're going to see the damage kind of mirrored onto this creature's body as it takes a huge claw in your direction. And you're going to take an additional.
Can I use my selfish shield?
Yeah, for sure. So we'll say that counts towards the 19 rather. So actually, I'll give you.
Should be 3 minus 3.
Yeah, let me heal that up. Yeah, 1, so 3. So here, let me, because we took the damage, right? So we'll say. I'll do it the old way. I'll do it plus 14, so you're at 17.
Ongoing selfishness.
So, oh, it is 31, right? Yeah, so 17 now, plus 14, 31. Okay. So you got the health back. So you take a selfish shield. Until the end of your... Okay, perfect. So enemy within 15 feet. So yeah, you would have... what kind of damage are you being okay here? It's slashing. Alright, we'll change it to slashing really quick. Alright. And then save. Close it. Okay. Alright, and then yeah, so we'll reapply the damage, make sure it hits appropriately. Why is it only 11? Is it doing it twice? 3 points. Yeah, I'm gonna have to... I think I'm gonna have to do this personally, rather. So, you would take -3, so that'd be 16, rather than 19. So... Alright. And then, yeah, okay. And then you take an additional 2, and the creature itself will take that damage as well. So, after it moves forward and attacks, it's going to ask, you know, do you yield? And it will not make its next move. It has its arm up like it's ready to attack, but it won't attack.
Nope.
Ugh.
Nope.
Yeah, this booming kind of deep voice. Like, do you yield?
I mean, I'm down to yield.
Turtle run's your choice. At the moment, other people still can go. But...
Gregor, you're healing?
I'm healing? I'm yielding.
Yield, rather. Sorry.
Yes.
Is
that
that
what I bargained for?
Yeah, I'm gonna yield.
Okay. So you spend your action basically like, okay, I'm yielding, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Alright. Obak?
This guy's almost got one shot. Like,
Full.
Yes, so it'd be kind of silly at this point with others standing down not to as well. Hobak was about to fly into a fit of rage, but he was able to keep his composure and will also kind of just continue to hold his polearm, but not as aggressively, as he kind of just stares down this other glaive-wielding devil.
We don't win this one.
Alright. Mastodon what? Oh yeah, and you still bleed, sorry. So you, you take that. You're still bleeding, so you take that damage, unfortunately. I think you can,
could I recover for my turn then instead of as I yield kind of idea? Or how does that work?
Yeah, you can roll recover. You can try to recover, but it's tougher because of the type of wound you have. So it's not going to be the typical. So
Let's go.
yeah, it's literally you have to roll a natural 20 to heal from this wound. Yeah, so you take the. Did it take it already? Okay, you take the 4 damage. All right. Yeah, as you stand there and just bleed essentially. All right. Mastodon what?
I roll warfare in the times of my battles to try to find out if this thing has an attack of opportunity.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sure.
You ever seen anything like this before, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If he's doing shit I've ever even heard of before.
Yeah, that's more of the question, right? Yeah.
Sure. Fuck, can I roll it? Warfare.
You just click the 7. Sorry. $21. Yeah, so I'm gonna say that you've never faced anything like this in person, right? But being the type of champion you are, right, where you draw your power from these things, you have read a lot into, occult-like information, and you've come across something like this creature in your studies, and you recall it perfectly in this moment, right? So to tell you, this creature, I'm gonna say, does not move very. Doesn't
have quick reflexes.
Yeah, and with that, you feel as though you're going to be able to get out of its way without it being able to bring harm to you, right? Like you feel like you can step out of the range without it getting like a shot off. But I will say, in your studies, yeah, these creatures are brought here. A creature like this is not something. How to explain it? Because this is very difficult. Something like this is almost made, right? It is not truly natural within Ekros. Something created this thing in this world.
I look at Turtle for a split second, then I look at Channy, and I say, "This is how I yield." Run at this motherfucker with my athletic prowess and dump a big one on him. But oh no! And it's over.
Gold block flowing through the wind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have one more action.
Hey, I'm gonna do that one again.
Oh no, actually, sorry. The warfare check, and then the move, and then this. So yeah, that's it.
He said, "Not sorry." Fuck
Yeah,
you.
sorry. You made the attack. So this is how.
Oh, the warfare check counted as an action.
Yeah, it's a recall knowledge check. Yeah. So.
Yeah, great. Dude.
Yeah. So you turn, you rush at the other one, and you're too far for this to count, right? Like you're moving a considerable distance, and he looks fully prepared. So.
Yeah.
As you like rush forward, he just brings his glaive up, meets your weapon, like a loud kind of ring as both blades crash against each other, and then he just like pushes it, and you stand there, essentially prepared for your next swing. Gregor.
I'll put my bow on the countertop. All right, enough of this.
All right.
You guys got that one. Got one.
All right. Let me rejoin 1 second. There we go. Discord voice fucking up. Okay, so you stand down essentially. All right.
Spare the golden locked man. We need him.
Harold.
Can I make an athletics check to leap onto Mastodon's back and try and restrain him?
You sure did. Yeah. And I'll say that it's probably a contested one because Mastodon works considerably larger.
I'm still going.
So go ahead and roll an athletics as well, and whoever gets the higher gets the advantage over the other.
It's not good for you, bud.
I'm pretty trained in athletics.
Yeah, he's not that bad actually. Wow.
Uh-oh.
Oh wow,
The dice tell the story.
Wow, dude.
How do you do it, young Harold? You see Mastodon, and you know that this is not going to end up well for him if you allow him to continue to press forward.
I leap like a monkey, all 4 limbs wrapped around his back, and I'm gonna wrap my arms underneath his chin and try and wrestle him back and
Fair
fall
enough.
flat on the floor with him.
Fair enough. Okay.
Fucking Aljamain Sterling.
Yeah.
Hit me with the backpack.
All right. So you jump onto his back, using all 4 limbs to just get a hold of him to, stop this madness, essentially. And yeah, I'll say that you get the advantage and you pull him back and kind of get him settled. Yeah, I think with that, I'll say
Really
that's your
saved my ego there, Harold. You know.
yeah, really
I had him just where I wanted him.
exactly.
Yeah.
I
was just about ready to get into his ass.
Yeah, this one standing here, the smaller one, is going to look at Harold and Mastodon, kind of essentially wrestling along the ground, and just kind of set his weapon down, right? Not down like on the ground, but like it's a glaive, so he's holding it with two hands now. He's just gonna hold it with one and kind of like just set it against the floor. And yeah, I think then if everybody's okay with it, we'll go ahead and end that encounter.
Sure.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, these guys are not to be fucked around with. They live here. This is a terrible place you're going into.
It's my home.
Yeah. So, with that, you're kind of wrestling into the ground, right? That's still happening, right? This one will back off, and the big one will just kind of step forward. And actually, I'll say that kind of like almost before your eyes, right? He starts to kind of go down in size back to his more human form. As he does, yeah, just say scary demon creatures are now back to their more human nature.
Well, that explains how a frail old man like you survives out here.
Not by choice. Cannot leave. You understand?
You could leave if we achieved our goal.
Maybe.
So it would be in your best interest to help us.
Kind of looks at the smaller one.
What do you lose just from giving us a route? What do you lose versus what you gain? What do you lose? Just 4 of us, 5 of us just dying, never hear from us again? Versus escaping the city, as you say, which is not by choice to stay here.
Yeah. Kind of get back into their like usual attire. The older one will kind of like look at the younger one and kind of motion towards Obak. They'll step forward and they'll immediately they'll put their hand out, their palm kind of on the wound that they essentially gave you, right? Because you're bleeding out. Like as you're standing there, there's more blood just flowing through. And he's gonna hit you with the heel.
Nice.
15 points.
Wait, hold on, I need to be right back. 1 second.
Steps forward, puts his hand right against the wound, and the wound kind of closes up, and that bleeding effect kind of moves away. The bigger one is considering the offer to tell you, right? Like, I think you need to make a roll here. Diplomacy. Like, you're really trying to convince him, especially after all of this. Right? I think Shane stepped away. So.
I'll slowly release Mastodon.
Yeah.
Scramble up to my feet.
I'll see who amongst you has who amongst you has the best diplomacy. I think.
I'm on +5.
I'm +6. Mine's actually pretty good.
Then I'll let you roll it in place of Gregor.
All right.
We're gonna roll diplomacy here.
So I'll go ahead and I'll look at the big one. I'll kind of let out. I'll exhale, I'll spit some blood on the floor. And then I'm gonna go ahead and
Attack him again.
yeah.
I
No,
don't go. I ain't hear no bell.
yeah. I'll go ahead and I'll rummage for a second, and I will pull out my
Sorry about that.
I will go ahead and I will pull out a pint, my only pint of oil, and I'll kind of offer it up on the ground.
Yeah, roll a diplomacy. With a plus. Well, I'll give that a +2.
And it's fucking garbage anyway.
I'll say the offering is enough. The older one will step forward and take the pint off the ground, right? And take the oil. Kind of carefully examine it. And then basically, if you had rolled anything less than a 10, it'd be like, fuck you right now. But
Yeah.
as he kind of takes the oil and sets it back, he's gonna look at you, right? Kind of look at all of you, right? Essentially, nothing in Almus is free. Not one thing. Right? I would have taken anything of decent or, you know, at least some sort of offering, right? Not 8 copper pieces, but something. If anybody in the city offers you help for free, be wary of them. Greatly wary of them. Nothing in Almus is free. Nothing. Thank you for the oil. Sure. I'll give you a route. And he'll kind of turn his back to you and start digging in some of the crates. And you'll pull what appears to be an older map of when the place was, basically like a map of the city, but you can tell it's quite old, right? And he'll pull it out and he'll kind of set it on one of the crates in front of you, and grab like a piece of coal to use as like to write, and he will charter a path through the city. You can see from where you are on the map itself. You seem to be, you're not directly in the center of the city, you're kind of like on one of the outskirts, the southern outskirt of the city, right? Like the closest to the large wall. Yeah, he'll draw you a route through the city. And on that route, he will apply a few squares. Here. This is the route you must take. Each of these is a safe house. If you can make it to it, you should be safe. Although, if you have too many on your tail, even a safe house will not protect you the further you get into the city. You know? On the outskirts of the city, it's safer. The closer you get to the rift, the more of the creatures and beings like us who have lost our composure. You will find us on the route. I think that is well enough trade for a pint of oil.
Yeah, he'll get no complaints from me.
So, kind of
Is now a good time of day to travel?
anytime the sun is out, there are less, but the evening is, you do not want to be out after dark. There are some, there are some buildings, even, that you may not want to enter during the day. If there are no windows, no doors, things like that, that is typically a sign to steer clear.
Well, one of those gelatinous cube lurking about?
No. You typically find those in the sewer.
The sewer?
Yeah. No. Much worse thing. In a sense.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah. He'll offer up the map. Kind of slide it across, offering it to whichever one of you wants to pick it up.
I'll take it.
So step forward to Macedon and put a hand out. He's going to shake his hand.
I'll begrudgingly extend my bloody hand
All right.
and shake it.
As you shake his hand, he's going to heal you. 22 points. Yeah, as you grab hold of his hand, you feel this energy from his palm into yours, right, up your arm, and into the wounds that you have gotten. And as he heals you, you actually see the wounds across himself that kind of mirrored when he attacked you, close up as well. A successful transaction.
Because you spared my life, my partner here has stated that should we make it through this fool's errand, that we will free you. I will ensure that he honors his word.
Just kind of shrugs his shoulder.
It's just more of a side effect, you know? It's not like...
We'll see. Yeah, it's a side effect. Yeah. The way out is that door. And safe travels.
Thanks again for not killing us.
So just kind of turns away. Doesn't really.
We should barricade this fucking door and sleep until morning.
Oh, I thought...
No. I think we need a long rest. We are like, even though we're healed up, we need our shit back. You know what I mean? I don't know how we're doing on spells and whatnot.
I don't think we really can long rest. It's daylight.
You can.
Sure, we can.
You
Gotta
can.
try.
Yeah.
We can rest until the morning.
Yeah, you're spending a whole day. You got 5 days. That'll put you at 4.
Yeah, that will put us at 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Maybe we can make it to one of the safe houses at least.
Yeah, I
We could try.
think we can push for a safe house.
Okay.
We're not gonna be running into any bazaar or whatever the fuck this guy's name is. I hope at least.
Beelzebub.
Guzman's? Yeah.
Sure. So you make your way out.
Fuck it, we ball, you know.
We'll do it live.
You're
Alright.
alive.
Fuck it, we're balling.
Yeah. So you turn. You go. And you exit out.
Wow.
As you exit out, yeah, it is still sun outside. There's still light to be had. And so as you kind of step out of this building again, you're on like the outer ring of the city. You can see down in front of you a ruined city at one point, right? Would have probably been marvelous to behold, but is now in its time, mostly lost to nature. To the left, you see this massive, large, kind of beautiful, kind of white ivory looking tower that just kind of pierces up out of the ground. Even from a distance, you can see all of these like extremely intricate, kind of golden inlaid designs all along the outskirts of the tower. And up at the very top, you can see. Can't see anything particular, but you see a light emanating, kind of like flickering, and the light itself is blue. Beyond that, you just see the city itself for what it was. You see where the castle used to have been, but is now in more devastated than the rest of the city. The castle is just in absolute disrepair. Mountains beyond. Climb up high. This city is essentially set in like a valley, and yeah, you're on the outskirts. There's this almost like a river cutting through the city, but the water atop is already kind of lightly frozen, so it's not thick enough to walk on, but it's getting close, right? It's starting to freeze over. And the wind up here. As soon as you step out and close the door behind you, you are buffeted with wind, and it is incredibly cold. So, you have the map. You have the path laid out in front of you. And you start on your way.
Could I have a look at my compass and see if it's stopped spinning?
Oh yeah. You take a look at your compass. As you pull it out and you take a look, it is spinning faster than ever.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it is
Guess
just.
that means we're getting closer to where we need to be.
Yeah. So, with the path laid out in front of you, how are you approaching this? Are you going quiet and slow? Are you rushing to get to the first safe house, other than this one, deeper into the city? How are you traveling?
If we can discuss it, I'd like to suggest that we travel light and stealthily.
Fair
where
enough.
possible.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so you can move at half speed and go slow. With that, I guess the most stealthy of you is the one to roll this stealth check. This counts essentially for everybody, because it is a party action rather than an individual action.
I think it's gonna be Shane, right? Gregor,
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I think it's got a.
That's what he's here for.
roll
That is why I
shit.
was here.
He ain't here for his damage.
yeah.
You're mean, dude. You're mean. Where the fuck is stealth? There we go.
Big boys only.
28. Yeah. Despite the compass not working, the map that has been given to you clearly denotes where you're starting, right? So you know the path ahead just as long as you are. Yeah, it doesn't take a genius, but in any case, you masterfully kind of take lead with the group, Gregor. Leading all 5, including the wolf. And you start to weave your way through. As you head down and into the city of Almus, as buildings start to kind of get more and more dense around you, and you kind of essentially make the first cut from the main path onto the hidden kind of back streets of Almus that kind of denoted on the map. Yeah, you are moving with an expert's say like an expert's grace, right? As you lead and show the others behind you, right? Like, you know, like, be careful here, all of that, and everybody, all of you, even the wolf, like I said, is moving at a very stealthy manner, but you are moving slow. So, taking your time as you kind of get to a portion. You've been traveling through the back alleys, and the map clearly shows that you need to cross what is essentially like a main road through. You get up to it, and I need everybody here to make perception check. Dude, the nat 20.
Nasty.
Nasty.
Alright, so we just need young Obak. Yeah. Well, it makes sense that you're up front, Gregor. And Turtle Run. How you hear this, I can only assume is maybe the wolf tips you off to it, and then you listen closer, and you can hear it, right? So like, yeah, trying to kind of like gather your attention essentially as you're traveling. But so you come to this point, and you're not willing to just head right across this road, Gregor. But before you even make to the corner, you can hear a sound in the street, almost like a like large. You can hear like when a large animal kind of walks, right? Each kind of footstep leaving like a bit of like a sound.
Thump.
Yeah, almost like a thumping, slow walk. And you can hear it before you reach the corner. So you can hear it before you see it. And I'll say that rolling with that stealth, I mean, you can easily kind of peek your head out and take a look. Essentially traversing through this road, there's this large, almost looks like a wolf beast type creature. And there's a rider sitting atop it. His back is to you, so you don't really see much details of the figure. But they are also thin and kind of gaunt like the others that you've kind of met so far. And he's sitting atop this, this looks like a massive hound. And they're just kind of slowly patrolling the street.
Are they? They're like standing directly in our way, like they're not moving at all.
No, they're walking away from you.
Okay.
But yeah, as you're waiting, right? Trying to make sure that they, get far enough down that you can quickly cross the street without having, to deal with them. You hear a sound, specifically Gregor, I guess. And you're alongside a wall, and if you look up at the roof, there's a figure that is kind of leaned over and looking down at you. And they're trying to get your attention, like, psst, hey.
I'd look up, but I was like kind of just waiting for them to say what they have to say, kind of taken back and surprised that,
yeah,
someone just snuck up on us like that.
Yeah. Looking down at you. This is so stupid, but they call out to you specifically. Gregor, you're new here, right?
I'm trying. Why are you talking to me right now?
Watch out for that one. Watch out for that one. And he kind of points. The figure, they're kind of like wearing a large kind of cloak over their head, hides most of their features. But they reach out with like you'll see at the end of their hand is clawed. Right? Like much more than it should be. Is like, there's like long kind of spines coming off the fingers. Kind of points in the direction of the wolf rider, essentially.
As
It's
this
fast.
is happening, I see Gregor. Would I see Gregor talking? Can I look up to see the man?
Yeah,
as well?
yeah. At this point, yeah, you could all see the script. You all can look up and you hear it now, right? Yeah.
Do I recognize him as the man from my dream with the claw?
You see the claw, and maybe like a chill comes up your spine, but
Right.
hearing the voice, it's thankfully not the same. But that claw is similar in look.
Right.
Yeah, good catch there. Go ahead.
I'm gonna like whisper, almost hiss at Gregor and say, "Don't trust him.
What did you say?
Don't trust him.
Don't?
Don't.
Okay. I kind of just
Do
wave
not."
my hand in a dismissive manner towards the hooded figure, like, get out of here. Get out of here.
Come on. You got anything to trade?
No.
Right.
Leave.
You better hurry. It's gonna turn around.
Is there any like side alleys or
Can I-
doorways or anything we could enter?
Can I roll a perception on him, Ian?
You want to try to see if he's lying
Yeah.
or something?
he's
Yeah,
like-
roll a perception. If he's trying to deceive you, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. The 17. You can't really tell.
Fuck me.
You seem to you kind of trust what he's saying. I mean, it could turn like if they're patrolling just up and down this road right here, like surely they'll turn soon.
Could I also roll a perception here, as I've like lasered in on him as I
Yeah,
recognize.
yeah,
the
absolutely.
stuff.
Yeah, roll perception. See if you pick up that they're lying.
Come on, bud. That's not the one.
You fully trust them. You think
Yeah.
this? You think that Wolf Rider is going to turn at any moment?
Okay.
Is he like beckoning us to another path?
No, he's telling you like hurry up, cross the path because
Oh,
this
okay,
guy's going to
okay.
turn around.
All right, let's.
Can I can hear this thing talking
Yeah,
to
yeah.
them?
Everybody can hear. Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's head over.
I tell the little creature, nothing here is free. Why give us advice?
Yeah, I was thinking that too, Pete.
Creature will duck away,
Little
disappearing from the
fucking
rooftops.
rat. Little rat.
We need to make a
Motherfucking rat.
move.
Yeah, we need to go. Let's go.
Start to make your way across as quick as you can.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
without compromising, not stomping my boots or anything.
Yeah, absolutely. Fair enough. So, you get to about halfway
Oh,
across the road when you hear
Sure.
an extremely loud whistle coming from the roof. And this creature has a whistle in its mouth and is blowing it as hard as it can. And immediately, the Wolf Rider is turning, looking, and diving into your direction.
Mm-hmm.
So,
There it is.
what do? Do you stand or run? You have like a good 100 feet away from it. Like it's probably very fast because of what it is, but you have a good chunk of distance between it and you, just as it kind of turns and starts to rush. And
Where can we run to?
yeah, I'll say, here, let me roll something real quick. Based on your current travel, I'll say that you feel, it's going to be tough, but you feel confident that you can make it to the safe house before this creature catches up to any of you.
The next one? Okay.
Yeah, the next one.
I'm down to book it.
Yeah.
You guys want to run? Let's run.
Pick up the pace,
Yeah.
bro.
Pick up the
Hustle
pace.
up. Hustle
Okay.
Pick
up.
up the pace.
Okay,
Hustle.
so this is going to be a bit free form. I'm going to need you to come up with some interesting ideas. So as all six of you, including the wolf, start to rush. You run past the street, you go down this alley, and you continue. Gregor, you know the map. You are okay. You are okay to lead the others. You have full control on the direction that you need to go. But what skills do you use to get there? So the way this will work is, there's a certain number of successes that you need to hit, right? And you're allowed to freeform use any of the abilities. If you want to use, athletics to just rush up a wall, right? To get off the road and know that the creature's not going to catch you. That's one way you could do it. You could use a spell to essentially kind of cast something behind you to see if you can create some sort of path or something along the way. Or essentially whatever you want, if you want to
Kind of do a
Yeah.
like a stealth check to try to cut a corner and lose them.
yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So we'll start it out. So you need a number of success. You need 3 successes before 5 rolls. So
Okay.
all right.
So you want me to roll one?
Yes, you're taking lead, so it's your first up. Okay, that is unfortunately a failure.
I can't believe the fucking plus
Yeah,
11.
you're running and going as fast as you can. You hit a corner, and it takes you off the path that you're supposed to be following. But you think like, oh, according to this map, I can just kind of quickly wrap around. But as you do so, you turn around, and you reach a point where it's actually a wall. What used to be an open path at some point has unfortunately been closed up by the ruins of the buildings of this city kind of collapsing in. So you have to quickly double back, rush through, and get back onto the main line as you start to run away. Any other skills?
I see another alleyway, and using my big athletics, I say hustle up, and then I bob and weave towards that other alleyway.
Fair enough. Absolutely. Yeah. Using Watts as the inspiration and rushing forward, yeah, you run, right? You just throw yourself fully to it, and it is enough to get the others in your party to, get in line and run with you, and they are all keeping pace. So if they keep pace with you in this moment, they're making, heading good speed. So good shit. 1 success, 1 failure.
Obak would like.
Turtle's out for the count. Yeah, but it's gonna be Obak and Harold.
Yeah, I can look at Turtle. Let's see. Any good rolls to go with here? Nature.
Obak would like to use his pole arm kind of like as a pole for pole jumping. If we've
Okay.
headed into this alleyway that Mastodon has led us towards, maybe like there's a higher ledge or something that he can attempt to like get him up to a better vantage point, help
Absolutely.
the party.
Fair enough.
I'd like to cast a spell, but I'm not sure what I'd roll for it. Maybe Arcana or something?
I'll give you a big bonus if you cast spells, because it costs to cast spells. If it's not a cantrip. 18, that's enough. You use the polearm, you get up to a better vantage point. It's off the main route, and Gregor, keeping watch on the map, you know that even if you follow Obak right now, you'll be able to get where you need to go, right? Like, you look and it doesn't seem like there's anything ahead of you that's going to cause any issues. So that's 2 successes. Go ahead, Harold.
I wanted to cast Ghost Sound, which is a cantrip.
Perfect.
So
Yeah.
what would
Go
I
ahead.
be doing for that?
So essentially you're trying to
I mean, rolling wise, I think, because if I'm going to use it, I'd like to. It has a 60-foot range.
yeah, I'll say let's use Arcana here. You're doing like a magical thing.
Arcana.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best. Right. Unless you can argue something different, but I think Arcana is probably
That's fine.
yeah, okay.
But yeah, I'd like to use Ghost Sound maximum volume, which is for normal human shouting. And
Okay.
it says simple sound, so I'll just use the same kind of whistle that the hooded figure used.
Okay.
I'll use from another high up place, around 60 foot away in the opposite direction.
Fair enough. Okay.
Roll my Arcana.
Absolutely. Okay.
Big boy.
So, you cast that Ghost Sound, and that same high-pitched whistle emanates a good distance away from you, at least in the opposite direction. And I'm going to say that you can hear the creature following behind it. It was getting that close, right? Like you can hear it rushing after you. And I'm going to say that as it does so, as the Ghost Sound goes off, you've essentially gotten to a point where there's like a split in the road. Y'all have taken the right path. Harold, you've done the Ghost Sound down the left path, right? Like getting them off the trail. And based on the sound of the wolf rider, or hound rider, I guess you could call it, goes distant. It fades out. It is no longer chasing after you directly. And I'll say, with 3 successes and only 1 failure, that is enough to make it to the next safe house. You rush at it. The way it's set up is, the building itself looks pretty nondescript, right? It doesn't have any windows, or what used to be windows there have definitely been kind of boarded up or bricked over. And so you burst on in. You can, as all 6 of you rush into the room, close the door behind, and you can see along the wall and along the door, all around, there are a number of runes that may or may not be familiar to some of you, as it is essentially etched, like fully, to act as a sort of magical barrier. So, out of breath, legs almost failing underneath you, but you have made it to a safe house, and you're good to go. So, I think with that, it's probably best to call this session here, especially since Turtle had to step away because of Canadian Thanksgiving. So, I think we'll pause it here, and we'll pick up here next time as we continue traversing further into the ruined city.
Can we call the safe house a long rest?
If you we should decide now. Once you now that
Rest.
you made it, are you gonna spend? It was starting to get dark, but it was still light. You could have traveled
Sure,
more,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
you choose to spend one day resting.
Yeah.
I don't think we're gonna make it to the second one before nightfall.
Yeah,
What do you say, boys?
be a tough call.
Yeah. Just rest.
Yeah, let's
Alright.
rest for the evening.
Okay. All right. So made it to safe house. Decided to rest, and so we'll pick up next time on the next day. So I'm gonna go decide on the stream and everything. I'll be back in just one moment. So appreciate it. All right. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for hanging out. That is the end of our second session with the Job Squad. Episode 2 of the Ruined City. We'll be back tomorrow, just kind of hanging out. Actually, we'll be doing some monster building. Monster building. We'll get, So, if you'd like to get involved, either in the community world building stuff or the community in general, best place to be is in the Discord. As that is where I reach out first whenever I'm doing stuff. Anything along those lines. That's the place to be. So, thank you all for watching. Hope you have a good day or a good evening, depending on where you are in the world. And maybe we'll see you next time. If not, we'll see you when we see you. So, peace.